Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the day straight. Well, after the whole days of volatility, we have seen that the Nifty and the Sensex are now trading absolutely flat with a negative bias. The Nifty is hovering below that 22,300 odd mark, just about 14 points lower in trade. The Nifty Bank, however, has seen some further dip from the morning trade. Now it's hovering about 0.5% lower in trade. It's now very close to that 48,000 mark, 254 points odd lower in trade. Now, when we talk about the other sectors and the kind of moves that we are seeing, the broader markets are still up. Mid-cap and the small-cap 100 index, with the small caps outperforming within the broader markets. Among the other sectors, of course, it's the Nifty Bank that's exerting the pressure on the markets and not letting the markets really recover sharply in trade. So the Nifty Bank is down by 0.5%. You know that financial services, PSU banks, private banks, all three components are now trading with losses on that front, especially the private banks, which are down by 0.8%. However, it's the PSU banks that are still up 1% higher in trade, but it's the financial services and the private sector. Both are exerting pressure on the markets. But what is doing well and what is exerting some support in the markets? Auto space 0.7% higher, metals 1% higher. You also have PSU banks, like I said, over 1% uptick today, and oil and gas. Those are the pockets that are still holding up into the markets right now. Among the top movers, you have Hero MotoCorp, of course, right after the earnings which have just come a few minutes ago, 3.5% higher as the top mover on the index now. BPCL, Tata Motors and Power Grid and also Hindalco are the other movers. F&O space also, you will see a whole host of these names which are coming up with the earnings there. Bharat Forge 11% higher after the earnings. We'll discuss that with the guests as well. Apart from this, you have Crompton Greaves Consumer, you have REC, PFC, GAIL, Siemens. These are the counters that are actually supporting the markets. Let's welcome a guest on the show. Santosh Meena now joins in. He is the head of research at Swastika Investment. Welcome, Santosh, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Again, some green ticks emerging. So volatility is very high. India VIX levels have again crossed that 17 odd mark. It's been constantly on a surge. What do you make of the kind of India VIX levels that we are seeing, and what will this indicate for the future days?
Yeah, first of all, Sakshi, thank you. Yes, India VIX is rising continuously, and it is the trend we have seen in past, so in 2019 and in 2014, because ahead of the election it rises, and in 2019 we saw a correction ahead of the elections results. So similar kind of pattern we are seeing in this year as well. So still there is still room for further rise in India VIX. We can expect a level of 25 ahead of the election outcome. In 2019, it reached to around 30 plus kind of level. In 2014, it was around 40 levels. So still there is a room for further rise in India VIX. So volatility will be there. But good part is that there is a lot of individual stocks opportunities there in the market. So traders are getting opportunity in stocks. But yes, there is a high volatility in indices.
Okay, let's quickly start taking some of your views on the earnings that are being reported. I will first discuss with you Hero MotoCorp. That's the top moving stock on the Nifty index right now. And when we look at the earnings, we do see that the margins have improved from 13% to 14.3%. Profit after tax has also seen an improvement year on year to 1,016 odd crore rupees. Revenue has seen a 14.6% uptake to 9,519 crores. EBITDA has improved by 25.5%. So on all the parameters, there is a surge, and the stock is now moved to the high point of the day, 3.7% higher at 4642. How would you really look at Hero Moto?
Yes, first of all, we talk about the Hero MotoCorp. Then yes, there is a strong recovery on earning front, and we are seeing positive commentary from most of the companies about rural recovery, and it is a key beneficiary of rural recovery. And if I talk about the technicals, so there is a clear breakout from a falling channel formation. So I'm expecting this stock to head towards 4,900 to 5,000 kind of level. So the structure is bullish. On the downside, I think 4,500 should act as a strong support level. The charts is suggesting further upside in the counter, and it is coming out of a long underperformance of many years.
And some of the comments from the management, lower commodity costs have aided the January to March EBITDA margin. Product mix and the price hikes have driven the margins as well. So those are the two things that Hero MotoCorp management has also said. In fact, they are going to be continuing. They have also said that they will look to continue to increase the market share via premium product launches too, going forward from here. Remember, they are looking at the scooter segment as well, and that will be important to take in into consideration, even for the entire fiscal year, the company has recorded highest ever revenue and profit for the year as well. So that is also something that one should know. The company has also declared a final dividend of 40 rupees per share. So that's the kind of report that's coming in, and all of these factors are driving Hero Moto on the higher side. The next one is Bharat Forge. Let's discuss this one. A very substantial move today. Now 12.5%. There is no let up. It's been constantly surging, and the kind of a day's move is seen. It's now taken the company, let me just see whether it has come to a 52-week high level after this surge in trade today. Yes, it's nearly 52-week high, I believe. It's 1402 is the 52-week high level. So it's near about that level. But in the last 1 year alone, 78% of a surge. Last 5 days, let's see, 9% of a surge has come in. Most of it has come in today, and 20% in the last 1 month. Last 6 months move is 34% odd. Bharat Forge, let's look at the earnings as well. Remember, the profit has surged 59% for the company. Look at the kind of volumes that you've seen after the earnings have been reported. So from 1 p.m. to about 3 p.m. or 1:30 to 3 p.m. It's like a substantial move. Last 1 year, of course, the stock has surged 57%. And let's looking at the revenues for the period. It's a 16.6% surge to 2328 crores. And we've seen the profits, of course, surge by 59 odd percent. EBITDA is now at 659 crores versus 522 crores in the previous fiscal same quarter. Margins have grown from 24.4% to 28.3%. Again, a very substantial move on also, even though the company has reported a one-time loss of 13 crores against a loss of 41 crores in the previous fiscal too. So keep that in mind as well. So that's the automotive business. They've continued to see that they aim to grow, which is in line with the markets. And so some of these details are coming in. Bharat Forge, how do you really look at it, Santosh, and how do you read the numbers?
Yes. So numbers, I think, slightly missed or say in-line expectation, but the important point was commentary. Management commentary was very strong about especially defense products. So after their commentary, stock surged from the low of around 1200 to now we are seeing a kind of 1400 level. So after results, it saw a sharp surge, and the structure is very bullish. Near 1400, we can see some pause because there is a call writers are sitting at 1400 kind of level. If it manages to sustain above 1400 level, then the momentum is likely to continue towards 1500 kind of level. On the downside, the recent swing high of 1300 should act as strong support now. So I think the structure is bullish. Near 1400, it may see some pause or consolidation, but if it manages to cross this level, then we can see further upside.
Okay, got that. So that's the view coming in on Bharat Forge as well. Let me reiterate some more earnings that have come in the recent while, last few hours, like last 1 hour or so. The other one is Balaji Amines. I really wanted to discuss this too. Very strong move again after the earnings. So this is the kind of the markets. Overall, you see weakness, there is volatility, but wherever earnings are positive, wherever management commentary is positive, a sharp surge is being seen on such stocks. The markets are rewarding with full hands into these kind of stocks as well. So for Balaji Amines, the consolidated profit for the January to March quarter has come in at 68 crores versus 47.4 crores. Revenue has come in at 414 crores. This is lower than the previous year same quarter. 471 crores was the revenue. Now when we look at the FY24 PAT, it's coming at 200 crores, and this is also a dip. Now, but if you see there is a dip, but then definitely the stock price has surged very, very sharply. Anything that you read into the numbers, Santosh, that you'd like to highlight for Balaji Amines?
Okay. Yes, Sakshi, I didn't read the number, but yes, on the technical front, there is a clear base at 2000 kind of level. We are seeing mixed number from the chemical companies. Some are showing good numbers coming out of long period of pain. But yes, if I talk about the Balaji Amines, so there is clear base at 2000 level. So there is a favorable risk reward ratio for the investors at current level. I think there should be further recovery in this counter. On the upside, I'm expecting a level of 2700 in the near term. So it is a good entry level in this counter, and you can buy at current level for a view of next 1 to 2 months for the target of 2700.
Okay, I think there is one reason why the stock may have reacted this positively. It's the margins that have expanded very sharply from a year-on-year basis. So last year, same quarter, it was 19.7%. This time it's 23.5%. So that's the kind of margin expansion that we have seen on this one too. Apart from this, let's discuss Canara Bank. Of course, big flavor, Santosh, and we have seen the entire basket of stocks over here outperform the markets, and there is no let up. Even after a day or two's move on the downside, you see a similar kind of buying back really happening in the PSU banks. Nobody is willing to let go of the kind of rally that we are seeing unfold here. Even though after the earnings, Canara Bank has slipped today, I wanted to take your view as to how do you really look at it. The bank has said that they actually see NIMs coming down. I think that could be the reason. So from FY24, where the NIMs were to the tune of 3.05%, for FY25, the management has said that they see NIMs at 2.9%. So perhaps that is one reason. But otherwise, when we look at the kind of growth we have seen, we've seen NIIs for the Jan to March quarter improve by 11%. We've seen the margins also, NIMs also improve versus last quarters of 3.03% to 3.07%. We've also seen that the net NPA ratio has improved further in this quarter to 1.1%. Credit costs are at 1.1% at this point in time, so a slight uptick on that front. But its gross NPA has also come in lower at 3.5%. So there is an improvement, but it's the NIM outlook probably that has led to this downtick. On Canara Bank, what would you advise, Santosh?
Yeah, I was seeing the numbers. The one other reason was loan growth. Actually, loan growth is was weak, and the guidance for loan growth is also weak for FY20. So that could be the reason for the sharp fall in this counter. And I think there is still room for the further downside. The stock can test the level of 535 to 530 in the near term. So the stock is underperforming, and there is still room for further downside. It may take support around 535, 530 zone, but yes, stock is looking weak for time being.
Okay, understood. So that's the kind of move that we are seeing on the kind of Canara Bank numbers after the numbers 3.5% lower loan growth and weaker guidance on that front, and lower and weaker guidance on NIMs as well, which is exerting some pressure. Let me now ask you on some of the counters that have been holding very positively today from the power finances space, REC and PFC. This uptick came in after a sharp decline over the last few days that we had seen. There was some kind of a fear that RBI's draft proposals on the project financing norms, they may probably impact the profitability of financiers like REC, PFC. Today, REC in the morning clarified that there won't be any impact on them, and therefore we did see the stock rising. Where do you see these stocks now headed?
Yes, they saw a sharp recovery from lower levels after, and there is some news that there is a discussion that there, it may be reconsidered this draft. So I think the on the upside, the 560 is an immediate target for the counter. Overall structure is bullish. The recent fall was a buying opportunity. 500 acted as a strong support level. I think this momentum is likely to continue. On the near term, I'm expecting a level of 575. On the medium to long term, it can head towards 665 kind of level.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on that one. Let's again see which are the counters that are moving very sharply. It's Reliance Industries that's clearly supporting the market sentiment and the recovery today. It's up by about 1.2%. Let me see the amount of recovery that's been contributing. About 25 points being contributed on the Nifty recovery from Reliance Industries today, 2871. L&T is contributing about 10 odd points. Remember, it's the earnings boy today. SBI ahead of its earnings is contributing about 9 odd points. Tata Motors, NTPC, Power Grid, Coal India. So the power theme is again coming back in flavor. Santosh, how are you reading into the move on NTPC, Power Grid, Coal India? Anything specific that you'd like to highlight for our viewers here? Do you like this space?
This counter stock is in a strong uptrend, and recently it broke out from a falling challenge formation, and it is trading. It's all about important moving averages. So I think Coal India should be on your radar. Once it will cross this 480 to 500 zone, I'm expecting a big move in this counter towards 525 to 550 levels. So Coal India is showing a relative strength, and you should keep eye on heavyweights like Reliance and L&T as well, because if there will be any recovery, they have to support the market. And today we have L&T earnings, so that means sentiment of the market. And Reliance is also trading in near an important support level.
Absolutely right. The other one is Crompton Greaves Consumer. It's reached a 52-week high in trade, and apparently the company has also talked about the company now aims to develop over 10,000 solar powered pumps under the PM Kusum scheme over the next few years, and they are constantly making efforts to make an impact in the energy efficiency category as well. This is what they have come out to say. And since April, the stock of this company has rallied about 27% already, and we've seen a sustainable footprint in this entire space from the company. Orders also recently the company has been receiving, say, of about 9 odd crore rupees, which were sanctioned by new and renewable energy department in Haryana. And HARERA includes supply, installation and commissioning of about 7.5 solar photovoltaic pumps as well. So that's the kind of order inflow that's been coming in. Your own sense of Crompton Greaves Consumer, how would you look at the stock?
Yes, the stock is completely showing a turnaround from both on the technical and fundamental front. So if you look at the chart of the Crompton Greaves, there is a classical double bottom formation on this counter, and in a weak market, it is outperforming. So I think the momentum is likely to continue. On immediate basis, 350 can have an immediate hurdle where we can see some profit booking, but any profit booking near towards 330 level will be a great buying opportunity, because the overall target of this structures comes around 380 kind of level. So this strong is looking very bullish. You should hold this stock, and any profit booking should be taken as a buying opportunity.
And the company also recently talked about that they are commencing the manufacturing and assembly operations of the built-in kitchen applications in its Vadodara manufacturing facility. So that's also, that information came in yesterday. So that's another sector that the company is going big on, and going to be we are going to be seeing enough and more products from the company from this side too. 5.6% higher in trade right now. Santosh, anything else that I may have missed asking you and you may have spotted in the market momentum?
Yes, especially top two counters are Bharat Forge. You have discussed most of the counter, but I think like two-wheeler and auto sector like Ascos is also at 52-week high. The stock is showing a strong bullish momentum. We are seeing the rural theme is picking up after a strong number from the FMCG counter, and especially commentary. So Ascot is also on my radar. I think this momentum is likely to continue. 3600 is an immediate hurdle, but once it will cross 3600, I'm expecting a level of 3800 in the near term. Apart from that, some oil and gas spaces stocks like IGL, we have seen a strong recovery from lower level. So I will focus on Gujarat gas, because there is a turnaround on that. It can outperform in the near term. And in this weakness in the market, my preferred bet will be metal stocks. They are showing a strong bullish momentum. We are seeing some correction for last few days. So Hindalco is on my radar. Hindalco, after pullback, is bouncing back from its 20-day moving average. I believe it can head towards 700 level in near term, and this year could be off for metal stocks. So any dip, any consolidation is a good buying opportunity in metal stocks.
Okay, got that. So metal stocks are in focus right now, as Santosh has put it. I also wanted to ask you, Santosh, on the chemicals and the fertilizer space, time and again we are seeing some bounce coming in. How sustainable is this move? Because it's a very cyclical space. It has been an underperformer, but now time and again we are seeing some of the other stocks that are bouncing back. How should one be really approaching this space?
Yes, we this space is was in pain for last many year, like last 2 to 3 years, and there is this mixed kind of results we are seeing. Like you can see the good earnings from the Aarti and like Coromandel, but weak results from UPL, and like yesterday we have seen weak results from SRF. So you have to be stock specific. So if you are looking for the fertilizer stocks, I look at the Coromandel International. It is showing a good strength, and it has recently shown good numbers. So I think 1300 can be seen in this counter. And from the chemical front, I believe you should focus on Deepak Nitrite, a very strong counter from a FIL booking firm. Uh, the stock is likely to continue its upward journey towards 2700 level in the near term. On the downside, 2400 should act as a strong support. So you should be very stock in chemical or fertilizer space.
Okay, understood. The other stock that I wanted to, I know that we were discussing a whole host of these power names, but Coal India specifically, how are you really looking at the stock and where is it headed? It's already outperformed quite a bit, and investors are not used to of seeing such sharp bounces in Coal India. Those who have been race investors of the past 10-20 years, we have always remembered Coal India as a stock which has been only giving out dividends, and it was a dividend play. But the kind of move that this stock has displayed over the last 6 months, 1 year odd, has surprised many. And at this point in time, of course, most investors who come to us also are only worried about whether this stock will even move further, or is it best to take their profits and move away. How would you really look at this?
I think the momentum is likely to continue for further upside, because there is a strong power demand and there is a shortage of coal supply. So I think the momentum is likely to continue. Technically, it has broken out multi-year resistance. So the momentum is likely to continue towards 500 level on the near term. The 20-day moving average at 450 should have a strong support level. Immediate resistance plays around 485 level. Above 485, 500, 525 are expected target in the near term.
Okay, understood that. Let's again look at some of the other pockets that are moving sharply. HAL, that's coming back in flavor from the PSU basket. Remember in the morning trading session when the stock was just starting to move, I had pointed this out that there could be some more move extended on HAL in the morning. I had said that, and it's right now among, near its high point of the day, 3.8% higher at 38.58 odd levels. How would you look at HAL now? Is there still steam left in this defense play?
Yes, one of the strongest counter in the defense space. It is continuously rising higher. Any dip is being bought at lower levels. So again, the small correction from 4,000 to 3,700 level was being bought. So I think the recent swing low of 3,700 should be taken as a stop loss for the further target of 4,000. Above 4,000, the move is likely to continue towards 4,100 level. You should trail your stop losses and still hold this position.
Okay, 321, and the right time to take any BTST or STBT calls from Santosh. Santosh, how would you really look at the space and any particular stocks for tomorrow?
Yes, I am looking to counter one from the auto space, Balakrishna Industry. For last few days, it is showing a relatively strength, and technically there is a classical breakout of cup and handle formation. I'm expecting target for 2600 in the near term. For tomorrow, there is a target of 2525. You can keep a stop loss of 2470. Another counter I am looking is Hindalco. As I told you, I am bullish on metal space, and this dip in metal space is a buying opportunity. Buy Hindalco. You should keep a stop loss of 628 and target will be 660.
Okay, and so those are the calls that you need to keep an eye out on for tomorrow as well. Let's look at the broader markets to see if there are any interesting names that we can spot from the Nifty 500 basket. Hutco is coming back 7.5% higher in trade. Apart from this, some of the industry stocks which we rarely discuss, Ingersoll Rand, that's up 8.4% in trade today. What else? Let's look at Kirloskar Electric is up and about. Padumji Paper. Remember, we were some days back discussing the entire paper space. Heritage Foods is up in trade today, about 10%. You have Capri Global Capital, that's also up by about 9.5%. So the markets are actually rewarding a whole host of stocks. Their car trade tech another new age technology firm that's up by about 10 odd percent in trade. Saskin Technologies is up and about. Many names, in fact, which are flying away in trade today. Anything that strikes you at this point in time, Santosh, that you would like to give a positive view on?
One of the countries heritage already up 10%, but I think the momentum is likely to continue. The immediate target comes around 380 level, so you can buy this counter where stop loss should be 350, and there is a clear breakout of inverse head and shoulder immediate hurdle around 980 to 1000 level. But it should be a positional stock where the actual target comes around 1200 level. So you can also buy card rate in this level.
Okay. One new entrant that I saw in the FNO big movers, ABB India, 4% higher in trade. Let's look at ABB India a little deeper and see how the shares have been moving over the last few days. I remember the stock has been in a constant uptrend. Today it's up by 4.2%. Of course, it's a little higher ticket price stock. But if you look at the last 5 days, it's moved up 9%. If you look at the last 6 months, it's moved 67%. Year to date, it's up by 53%. A 1 year basis, it's up by 88.7%. ABB India, your view, Santosh?
Yes, one of the strongest counter in capital space. I think it should be in your portfolio despite a strong run up. The momentum is likely to continue. For a trading purpose, 7200 could be an immediate hurdle, but once above 7200, the target comes around 7500. So trail your stop losses and hold your position because the momentum is likely to continue in this counter. Chart structure is very bullish.
Okay, one more stock before I ask Santosh to tell us about how to strategize for tomorrow in the markets. Avenue Supermarts, strong move again, 4.5% higher. After the earnings, it did move a bit, consolidated again, and today again it's showing some move. How would you look at this one?
Yes, the beautiful structure. I believe this counter is likely to head towards its all-time high of around 6,000 in coming days. But yes, on immediate basis, I am looking for the target of 5,000. The structure is bullish. You can hold this stock into your portfolio despite the expensive valuation because the growth is very strong and keep a stop loss of 4,600 where 5,000 should be your immediate target. Above 5,000, 5,500, 6,000 kind of level can be seen in the near term.
Understood. So that's the kind of move we can expect on Avenue. All right, Santosh, do tell us then how should an investor and a trader prepare for tomorrow? We've seen green ticks today after 3 days of a fall in the markets and a loss of about 11 lakh crore rupees in the BSE listed stocks over the last 3 days. Flattish, but definitely any green sign is welcome. 22,311. How does the Nifty and the Nifty Bank move forward from here? What should be the strategy?
First thing, for last 2 days, Nifty is trying to protect 22,300 on a closing basis, but we are not seeing any kind of strength. But good part is that we are seeing a good advance decline ratio or strength in the broader market. And technically, Bank Nifty today's low is an important support level. So 47,700 was a strong support level. So if you should don't aggressively buy at current level, but you can take a position with call option and keep a stick stop loss of today's low for Nifty 22,000 around 150 level and for the Bank Nifty 47,700. But don't be very aggressive. Yes, if you get a positive opening tomorrow and you get a follow-up buying, then you can increase your position because market is struggling to at higher levels. So you need a follow-up buying. The good part is that we are seeing a lot of action in the broader market and in individual stocks.
Okay, understood. Well, thank you so much, Santosh, for being with us on the show and helping us really navigate through this volatile day of trade and also helping us understand your views on various stocks and sectors that we've discussed today and the strategies for tomorrow as well. Let's start wrapping up the market for the day's trade. Of course, it's a day when we are seeing Nifty eke out some gains after a very, very volatile day. 22,300 seems to be getting protected. We're just about 2 minutes away from the day's close. Nifty Bank slightly reducing and coming off the lowest point of the day. 200 points lower in trade at 48,071 right now. Among the sectors, broader market still holding strong. The Nifty mid-cap 50 is actually the one that is really outperforming. Over 1% kind of gains can be seen on this one. Within that, Bharat Forge is the one that's topping the charts on the Nifty mid-cap 50, and Petronet LNG is up 4%, SAIL, Escorts and Idea, NMDC, Oberoi Realty, these are some of the stocks that are big movers on that front. Apart from this, when we look at the other sectors, the one that gained strength in the last half an hour odd is the auto space. Again, you will see Bharat Forge is one of the stocks that really supported that move. Tata Motors inched higher. About both DVR and Tata Motors, Motherson Sumi, Ashok Leyland, Hero MotoCorp, TVS Motors, these were the big movers on that front and on that account. Apart from that, metals gained strength, 1.5% higher is what they are ending at. A lot of movers in the Nifty, Hindalco, Tata Steel, JSW Steel, SAIL, NMDC, Coal India, these have been the top movers today. Then apart from this, you have pharma and the healthcare space that moved up in trade, recovered. Realty recovered in trade as well. It was trading lower in the morning trade. PSU banks end higher. Oil and gas also strong move on that one. So 1.8% higher. Of course, it's the BPCL, HPCL right ahead of its earnings and bonus issues that these stocks are higher. GAIL, IGL, Petronet, LNG, MGL, the entire gas-based stocks that were seen in full action in trade today. Among the sectors, barring the private banks, the IT space, the financial services, and overall the Nifty bank. Rest of the sectors have pulled up and have recovered in trade. The top movers today, BPCL, Tata Motors, Hero Moto, Hindalco, Power Grid, Coal India, NTPC. So power stocks, auto stocks, oil and gas stocks. These were the big movers. Apart from this, the top drags on the markets today. Dr. Reddy's, after the earnings, continued to drag 3.2% lower. Asian Paints, Grasim, Ultratech Cement and HDFC Bank, the top 5 losers in trade today. Big movers on the F&O space, Bharat Forge now ending at a day's high, no let up, 16% higher in trade. So that's the closing level for you. 22,306 is protected. Prima facie, Crompton Greaves, REC, PFC, Chambal Fertilizers. We've discussed most of these stocks. That's how the tenor of the market has been in trade today. We'll wrap it up at that, but do stay tuned on to Business Today as we continue to get you all the exciting coverage from the world of business and finance, even beyond the stock market hours.